And then with this condition, that shear flow equation is reduced to Vz Iyy Ar Zr. This is the reduced equation for the shear flow. And then we first calculate Iyy first. We first calculate Iyy because we are going to figure out what is shear flow in each scheme. We need to use this equation, but this is unknown yet. Iyy, set the moment area with the whole cross section, is summation Ai Zi squared. Because it's symmetry, so the center of gravity around z direction is 0. So that is why we can use Zi squared directly. We have 4 boom areas. The first one is 4,000, and Zi 1/2 the total height is 150. And the first one is the same area, same distance, so you have 2 of them. And then this sheet is 2 of them, 3,000 before, and the distance is also 150. And then you can calculate Iyy is 339 into 6. So this is Iyy. Vz is not given. Vz is just you assume the shear force is applied on the shear center of the cross section. Is not given, but it will cancel. It will cancel. We are trying to figure out what is the shear location of shear center of Vz will become. So we put a Vz there. The equation will becomes sigma qi equals to Vz times 339 into 6 Ar Zr. This is a equation for the shear flow, and then we deal with the boom area one by one. The first one, you have 2 shear flow. One is from 2 to 1 going inwards. The other one is from 1 to 4 going outwards. Okay. So use this equation. The shear flow going outwards is positive. Shear flow going inwards is negative. And Vz 10 to 6 A1 Z1. You are dealing with the first boom area. So from this, we have Q14 equals to Q21 minus Vz 10 to 6. A1 is 4,000. Z1 is positive 150. So use this number, you get Q21 minus 1.77 10 to minus 3 Vz. Q21 is unknown because in that scheme, you do not know what is the shear flow in that scheme yet. So just put it there. We are going to write all of the other shear flow in terms of Q21. Okay? And then we use another equation to figure out what is Q21. So this is the shear flow in 1,4, Q14. And follow the same procedure, you can figure out all of the other shear flows in other schemes. Q34 will be equal to Q21. That is equal because it's symmetry about the y-axis. You do not have to do the calculation, you can figure it out, right? Q2, the cross section is like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? It's symmetry about y-axis. So shear flow at here and here are the same. Q34 is equal to Q21, and Q31 is not going to be equal to Q. It's not symmetry about z-axis because thickness is different, and also the area, the boom area. This one is 3,000 something. And these two are 4,000. Oh yes. Thank you. So the shear flow at 3,2, and that is 3,2. At this edge shouldn't be equal to 4,1. That is not equal to 4,1 because the boom area of these two are not equal to these two boom area. These two are 4,000. These two are 3,000 something. So if you calculate it, Q32 will be Q21 plus 1.57 10 to minus Vz. This is Q32. Up to here, you finish your calculation in what of the shear flow, in what of the skins. There's one unknown, Q21. You assume Q21 is there. So what of the other shear flow are written as a function of Q21. And then what is the value of Q21? Because the objective of this problem is to figure out what is the location of shear center. Before you can calculate the shear center, you have to figure out what is the shear flow. Right now you have one unknown. You have to figure out what is that unknown first. So according to the definition of shear center, this is boom area, this is boom area, this is boom area, this is boom area. Suppose here is shear center. And that force, Vc, is applied on this shear center. 1, 2, 3, 4. The definition of shear center is when you apply a force, shear force, on the shear center, there will be no twist. The twist angle of this cross section will be 0. And then what is the formula for twist angle when you have a closed section beam? In 321, we introduce that formula for general cell wall. If this is a cross section, closed section, same wall beam. Okay, this is a same wall beam. But it is closed section. Okay, if this is Y, this is Z. And you have shear flow flowing through the thin wall. If the shear flow is Q, what is the twist angle about X axis? This is X axis along length direction. And you have shear flow flowing within the closed section beam. So this cross section will be twisted, right? Because just like this is the beam, you are applying a twist like this. It's going to be twisted within the cross section. So there's a formula for you to calculate the twisted angle. Okay? D theta dx. I will give you this formula. If you want to figure out how to derive this formula, you can go back to check this 321 textbook. And that formula is 2a q ds gt. Okay, this is the formula. What is the meaning of this formula? D theta dx. This is x direction. D theta dx means this theta angle is not constant along x direction. This is the beam. You apply a twist like this. So along this direction, each cross section will have a different twist angle, right? So that is why this is not a constant. Theta angle is not constant. Theta will be a function of x. But d theta dx can be calculated like this way. The first derivative of the twist angle with respect to x direction will be this. And then what is A? A is the area of this cross section. Not the area of the shaded area, not the value of the shaded area. It's the area from here. I should say, A area is
center.
Is this value. Okay?
Center.
It's the total area of the cross section surrounded by the same wall beam. Okay? And G is the shear modulus. T is the thickness. Thickness, we put thickness in this integration. because this integration is a integration along hoop direction. S, ds, ds, any point, start from any point along the hoop direction. So along this hoop direction, T thickness could be different, right? Some point is thicker, some point is thinner. So that is why T, we cannot take that T out of this integration. And sometimes G is not constant either. This point, maybe shear modulus is larger. This point, shear modulus may be smaller. So if you come back to this is a very special shape, right? This is a rectangular shape. This is hoop direction. Each edge will have different lengths. Each edge will have different shear modulus. If we want, we can specify shear modulus for each skin. That formula is general. Okay? The A area is the total area of this cross section. Okay? But G and T is a pointwise quantity. It's pointwise quantity along the hoop direction. So if we use that formula, d theta dx, shear force for this cross section is applied on the shear center for this one. What is this one? We apply a shear force on the shear center. According to the definition of shear center, there shouldn't be any twist. Then what is this? Should be zero, right? So this is zero. This is an equation we can use to calculate what is Q21. And then we use this formula on the left. 2A Q ds GT equal to 0. Right? We just use that formula on the left. And then this is the area of the whole cross section. We can take it out. Shear modulus is the same everywhere. We also can take it out. So the remaining term becomes Q ds T equal to 0. If your shear modulus along the hoop direction is not the same, everywhere is not the same along the hoop direction, you shouldn't take this out. But this one can always be taken out because this is the area of the total cross section, right? So this is the resulting formula. Q is the shear flow along the hoop direction. ds is the hoop direction. T, the thickness of the thin wall along the hoop direction. Okay? And then we deal with that edge by edge. 2, 1, 1, 4, 4, 3, 3, 2. Use this formula, this is the integration. But for rectangular shape, we can convert that integration to a summation. Right? We convert this integration about the hoop direction. Actually, you can convert this into the summation along the 4 edges. So that becomes Q21 times the length 21 and the thickness 21. This is the first edge from 2 to 1. And then the second, you have 4 terms because this is the integration along the hoop direction, 4 edges. Put them together. Q14, T14, and Q43, T43, and Q32, L32, T32. L21 is the length from 1 to 2, and T21 is the thickness of that thin wall connecting point 1, boom area 1 and boom area 2. So then we use this formula. So Q21 is there, and L21 is the length of the thin wall connecting boom area 2 and 1. What is the length is 500, right? 500. And the thickness, T21, along that thin wall is 10. So this is the first term. The second term, 14, that one is 300 times divided by 10. And
the thickness on
third term, 3, 4, 500 divided by 10. And the last one, thickness is different. It's 8. So that is why that is how we include the thickness into the derivation. 300 divided by 8, okay, equal to 0. And then we have derived 214 is equal to Q21 minus, this is what we have derived in the previous slides. The other one is 10 to minus 3 VZ, right? And Q43 is equal to Q21. And Q32 equals to Q21 plus 10 to minus 3. So you have written all of the other shear flow in terms of Q21. And then use these 3 terms into this equation. Only one unknown will be solved. It's Q1, right? You have one equation, but you have this. You can rewrite those 3 terms with these equations you have derived. And then you have one equation for one unknown for Q21. You can solve it. So that means use these 3 terms in that equation, you can solve it. Q21 is negative . It's still a function of VZ. Right? It's normal because you assume a VZ is applied on the shear center. All of the shear flow should be a function of the shear force. So Q21 is that much. And then use this value for these 3 terms. You get all of the shear flow. They will be a function of VZ, but Q21 is not. Okay? The unknown Q21 is solved already. You use that equation, use the twist angle is 0. Okay? And then we can plot the shear flow in that one, two, three, 4. Q21 is negative something. That means shear flow should be flowing from 1 to 2. Right? It's negative. Q21 is negative. That means 1 to 2 should be positive. So it's 10 to the minus 3 VZ. And this one is 18.4 times 10 to the minus 3 VZ. This is from 1 to 4. I use this formula. I use 2, 1 in this formula, I get this number. Okay? And 3 to 4. 3 to 4 is from here to here. Q32, I use this formula. So this is all of the shear flow in this closed section beam. It's a function of VZ because this is shear center, this is your VZ, right? What we want to solve is the location of this shear center. Okay? Location shear center along vertical direction must be in the middle. Must be along the y-axis because this cross-section is symmetry about y-axis. This one is symmetry about this one is symmetry with this one. So S, the shear center S, must be along y-axis. But what is the distance from here to here? We want to solve the perceived, the distance of the shear center along that horizontal direction. What is perceived? What is the shear center? We didn't solve it yet. So again, we can use the definition of shear center. when you're applying a force on the shear center, the moment induced by the shear force should be balanced by the moment induced by the shear flow. Okay, so that means we can take any point, do a moment balance, M1. And just take a moment, point 1, do a moment balance using the moment induced by the external force to be balanced by the shear flow. Okay, so induced by the external force Vz times C on the left, right? It's counterclockwise. Vz is there, distance is that much. Counterclockwise, moment induced by Vz should be balanced by the shear flow within this cross section. Again, we use what I have used. What I have a formula A2AQ. That formula to calculate the contribution from the shear flow, the moment contribution from the shear flow. So this shear flow, that shear flow flowing through point 1 will not be contributing. This shear flow, they are flowing through point 1. So they are not going to be contributing to the moment on point 1. This one and this one will be contributing, right? So we calculate this one first. Shear flow is a force. Imagine shear flow is a force. This is a force. This is the moment you want to take. So force times the distance, right? We can get Q 3 2. Actually, we use 3 to 1. We use the formula we have used last time. We calculate the area. 3 to 1. You can calculate the moment contribution by that shear flow. 3 to 1 means A3 to 1 means the area connected point 1, point 2, and point 3, the triangular area. Okay? Shear flow is here. This is counterclockwise, right? Q32, about point 1, counterclockwise. And then this one, 3, 4, is negative, is clockwise. So minus 3, 4, A3, 4, 1. This is another area. Actually, when we look at the area, these two areas are the same. This is just 1/2 of this rectangular area. But these two shear flow are different, right? Q32 and Q43 is different. So it becomes Vz times C equals to 2. Then we use Q32 here. It's this much, 1.536. In this area, 3 to 1, 1/2 of this rectangular area. 1/2. The rectangular area is 500 times 300. This is the area of this rectangular area, 1/2. And minus 2 times Q43. Q43 is this much. And the area is the same, 1/2. This rectangular area. Okay? There's a Vz. I dropped the Vz because this is coefficient. This shear flow is a function of Vz. So second term also have a Vz. Look at these three terms. You have Vz on both sides, right? Vz here, Vz here, Vz here. Vz will be gone. Vz is zero, non-zero shear force. The only unknown is C. You can calculate the shear center this way. The shear center is 225. It's not at the center of the rectangular area because this rectangular area is not symmetry about z-axis. This two-boom area is larger than this two-boom area on the right. That is why this shear center is a little shifted to the right. Okay, so this is a shear location of the shear center for this very simple closed section beam. And I want to give you some hints about one problem in form of 3. Yeah, anywhere. Windings, yeah, because it's symmetry about the y-axis, but it's not symmetry about the z-axis. So it's shouldn't be any point along that line. This is a just in the middle. This is the structure. These two areas are larger, right? These two areas are smaller. Right? But it's symmetry about this axis. It's not symmetry about this axis. Right? So what we are trying to locate is what is the distance from here to here. Must be along this line, but we don't know which point it should be. And this C will tell you which point it should be. Okay. This is the meaning of this shear center. And in homework 3, we are dealing with at least one of them is very complicated. So I will give you some hints. It's closed, also a closed section beam. It's like this. It's symmetry, but it's curved. It's not a simple rectangular area anymore. And you also have 4 boom areas. It just simply change one edge from a straight line to a curved area, to a curve. Then the whole thing becomes more complicated. But the idea is the same. Cut it, and then use that equation and use the twist angle should be 0. The procedure is the same. Okay. Only several tricky things I want you to be aware of them. So this is y-axis, this is z-axis. When you look at the area, the first thing you check the symmetry. This one is 450, this one is 550, this one is 550, this one 550. And the length of this curve is 580. And the area, this curved area, is 35,000. So this is the geometry. And from here to here is 50. From here to here, 100 here, 100 here. Suppose this is the shear center. Okay. This is a cross section. Actually, this is not half a circle. Okay, this is a very irregular curved shape. It's not half circle. It's not elliptical. It's not half circle. So this, but I give the length of this curve and give the area of this curved area. So this is the setup of the cross section, and I'm asking you to calculate what is the shear flow and also what is the shear center. It's the same. It's the same closed section beam, but only one edge becomes curved. And the first step, still you need to cut it. Okay, cut it here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the equation that you can use is still symmetry about the y-axis, because its boom areas are symmetry, and the geometry is not symmetry about the z-axis, but it's symmetry about the y-axis. So I didn't tell you what is Vz, so you just assume Vz is not 0, Vy is 0. Because I'm asking you to calculate shear center shouldn't be a function of Vz. Vz eventually will be gone, just as the previous example. So you can just assume there's a non-zero force applied along z direction. Okay? And then you can use this equation again. Vz, Iyy, Ar, Zr. So you need to calculate the Iyy first. Right? Then we use this formula. So Iyy, this is the previous formula, Az squared, and do the summation. Okay? So this is the first step. You finish the calculation of Iyy, and then do that boom area by boom area. So the second thing is deal with boom area 2 and Q1, 2. Look at this boom area 2. It's a curve Q2, 3. Right? Look at boom area 2. It's not an edge. I just put an edge. A straight line here is not true because 1 from 2 to 3 is a curve shear flow. But it doesn't matter. This equation does not differentiate between straight shear flow and curved shear flow. They just a scalar. Okay, you just use that equation Q23 minus Q12 for the first beam area, BZ IYY, and the area is 550, and the distance is 100. Right. So this is the first equation. You can come up 4 different equations. Right? From this equation, you can write Q23 will be a function of Q12 plus minus something, because this will give you a positive number and the negative sign here. So you will write Q23 as a function of Q12. Right? So do the same thing. You can get Q34 will be a function of Q12, and Q41 is also a function Q12. Everything can be written as a function of Q12. The same procedure as what we have done in the previous example, right? And the next step, use the question. Okay. The next step, we use the so-called definition of shear center. Please, the angle should be 0. Right? So d theta dx here a little bit tricky than the previous example. On the left, we still use that formula, Q ds gt equals 0. On the left, we still use that formula, and this area is the total area of this cross-section can always be taken out. But G and T in that example, G is the same, but T is not the same everywhere. Remember, we give you this T at here is 0.8, and T at here is 0.1, T at here is 0.8, T at here is 0.6, something. So T is different everywhere, and you have to use that formula. And the ds is not the length, it's not a straight line everywhere, especially that curved section, right? So the first one is Q12 times the length from 1 to 2, right? It's 50. It's 50. And G is the same. I can take G out everywhere. So T12, thickness of T12. And the second thing is 2, 3. I give you the length of this curved length. I give you is 580. Sometimes, probably in the exam, I will ask you to calculate what is the curved length. So I give you a radius. If it is elliptical, you have to figure out what is the length. You see what I mean? Shear flowing is flowing from Q to 3. Q to 3 times the length divided by thickness is the second term. So you need to figure out what is the length. But here I already give to you. The homework is already there. So you just use that number for the second term. 580, and this is the thickness of that section. And third term, 3, 4, 50 again, and thickness of that section. Now term, 41 times 200, and thickness 41. So up to here, you have one equation, you have thickness, you have the length of each section, and you have one equation, one unknown. Why is one unknown? Because we have written what are the other shear flow in terms of Q12 in the first step. So one equation for one unknown. You can figure out what is Q12. From this equation, you can calculate what is Q12. Right? When you have this Q12, take this Q12 back into this formula that you already have. You can figure out what is the shear flow everywhere. It is a function of BZ. It's not number yet because you assume a non-zero force along z direction. Right? So this is the shear flow. And then next step is shear center. So you want to calculate this shear center. Tricky things. Another tricky things. This is cross section.
post that sheet, doesn't it?
Suppose here is a shear center, S. You apply a shear force here, 1, 2, 3, 4. And you already calculated what is the shear flow everywhere. Okay? So again, we're going to do the moment balance according to the definition of shear center, right? The moment should be balanced from the internal force and the internal shear flow. Let's do the moment balance about 0.1. Okay, this time I'm not going to do 0.1. And not 0.2. We're calculating the distance from here to here. How about we do this way? We just choose this point to do the moment balance. Okay? So on the left is the moment from the external force. Vz times c is clockwise. So it should be Vz times c, right? Vz times c. And then shear flow contribution about this moment. This shear flow is flowing through. Q12 is flowing through 0.1. It's not going to be contributing to the moment. And Q23 from here to here is contributing. But what is the contribution? Again, we are going to use that formula Q23 and A231. What is this? 231, 2, 3, and 1. So you need to connect those 3 points. 2, 3, 1. This is the area. Okay? It's not a simple triangular area anymore. It's a combination of that triangular area and this curved area. Okay? 2, 3, 1. This is the general formula. This stands for area, but it's not always triangular area. For this, just be careful, otherwise your calculation will not be correct. And but for this contribution, 3, 4, 3, 4. Also counterclockwise, right? So this one and this one, both of them are counterclockwise, about 0.1. The area is 3, 4, 1. This time is a rectangular area. Right? You just connect that 3 points, you get an area. No matter what is the shape, you need to use the correct area to calculate the contribution to the shear flow, or from the shear flow. Okay? So this is, you already calculated this, and it's a function of Vz, so Vz will be done. Vz will be done eventually. And you can calculate C. This is what you are going to do in homework 3, one of them. I'm asking you to calculate what is C for this irregular shaped closed cross-section. Okay? Any question about this? Any question about this? Okay. So another very practical hand calculation that we're going to do in aerospace engineering is we're going to do the analysis of fuselage or wing structure. In homework 3, in the last one, I'm asking you to use ANSYS to do a real wing structure. It's not that realistic. It's still simplified wing structure. Okay? It's tabled wing structure. If you already looked at the homework problem, it's a tabled wing structure. But it's idealized already. It's idealized as a combination of boom areas, 6 boom areas, and some skins. So we also can use hand calculation to do that kind of analysis. But in homework, I'm not asking you to do hand calculation. You are going to do that using ANSYS. And this Friday, Chris will be here to do 2 examples, show you how to use ANSYS to do such skin stick model. Okay? So just make sure you can be here to learn how to do that. Today I'm going to show you one example using hand calculation to do that kind of thing. So maybe I cannot finish, but I'm going to introduce the setup a little bit. So the structure is like this. This is one stiffener, and you have another stiffener, and you have one more stiffener. So they are connected. connected using skin. There's no NCA here. And another stiffener. Another stiffener. So I'm very bad at drawing. Okay? So this is a stiffener, this is a stiffener. 6 stiffeners. This time I didn't draw just a cross-section only. I draw the 3D view. Idealize the wing structure. In the previous example I just told it, we just saw the cross-section of this beam. But this is realistic, not that realistic, but still a wing structure. This is each of them is corresponding to a stiffener, in between is a skin. So this is so-called skin stick model, 3D view. Okay? And when we do the shear flow analysis or direct stress analysis, we just take one skin, one cross-section out of this whole beam. We then do the analysis. But this is a 3D view. Okay? And suppose this end is fixed. Okay? Imagine this as a wing structure. Okay? And this end is fixed. And this is Z direction. And this is a Y direction. Right? This is a cross-section plane that we always define like this way. And this is a length direction. Okay? And loading is like this. Here you apply 100 kilonewton point force on one of the stiffener. And this end is fixed. The length from here to here is 1.6 meter. And from here to here, 0.8 meter. And from here to here is 4 meters. From here to here is 0.8 meter. From here to here is 0.4 meter. Okay, this is the setup. This is the geometry. This is when you look at this picture is a little bit closer than the wing to the realistic wing structure now, right? This is skin. This is a stiffener. Stiffener will be used to reduce the direct stress, sigma x. Right? Skin will be used to reduce the shear flow around this wing structure. Okay? And the question is, I'm going to ask you to calculate what is you have a cross-section in between. In the middle part of the wing structure, you have a cross-section. I'm going to ask you to calculate what is a direct stress here, 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 and here. And what is the shear flow in this cross-section? This is the wing structure. This wing structure is tapered. It's not uniform. Each cross-section is not uniform, right? The area is decreasing from this end to this end. So I'm asking you to calculate what is shear flow here, here, in the skin, and what is the direct stress in these 6 boom areas. So we need to take that cross-section out of this whole wing structure. 6 boom areas. When we are talking about boom area, when you look at this structure, now you have better understanding. Right? Boom area actually is a cross-section of the stiffener. Right? I take this cross-section and then put it. Look at the cross-section. Boom area is just a cross-section of each stiffener. And this skin, each skin, is just one line along the whole skin. So this is one cross-section. I just take this cross-section that we want to analyze out of this whole structure. In the homework 3, the next one, we are going to do the analysis, the whole structure, using ANSYS to build it. And ANSYS will plot the stress every point for you. It's not only one cross-section, okay? So this is a hand calculation, you can just calculate one cross-section. But you can calculate cross-section by cross-section. You put them together, you can get the whole picture, but it's too tedious. I'm just going to show you how to do hand calculation for one cross-section. Okay? So this is the boom area. Boom area actually is given. This one is this much, this one is this much, this one is this much, this one is this much.
That's 58.
This one is 1200, this one is 1200. The first thing we are trying to do hand calculation for this structure is figure out what is the length and what is the height in this cross section, right? You take this cross section out of the wing structure. You know the length, you know the height of here, you know the height of here. You know the length of there, you know the length of there. So you can use interpolation to figure out what is the length and height in that cross section. We are going to analyze. So just 1/2 because it's a middle section. The length is this one plus this one divided by 2, 22. And this one, the height will be this one plus this one divided by 2, 26. So this is the height and the length of this cross section. And this is the setup for the cross section. And then you can use what we have learned to do the same analysis for the direct stress and shear flow in that cross section. Okay, I'm going to continue, maybe finish this next Monday, but you better be here for the answers for this kind of thing. It's a little bit tricky because this is for the full structure. Okay?